while teenagers may not admit it, parents do play an influential role in their decision-making process. And what parents say to their children do make a difference. It is therefore very important for parents to bring up important issues such as the dangers of drug abuse. So today we have a few experts with us who will share some parenting tips on how parents can strike up the conversation on drug abuse and also share some telltale signs to watch out for.
If people start drugs very early, there's a high chance that they'll get addicted. The younger people start taking the drugs, the higher the chance that the problems can become very severe very soon in their lives. Toxins such as illegal drugs like cannabis or heroin can potentially damage certain key structures in the brain, which is involved in planning, decision making, memory functions such as hippocampus. So what I would suggest to parents is actually look for the early warning signs. Certain changes in the kid's personality and mannerism. They can suddenly become secretive, they can tell lies to you, and they can become very isolated.
So not only do drugs have detrimental effects on brain development in teenagers, drug abuse can also drastically alter behavior and personalities of children.
What happened was that the parents had to break down the door and called for the ambulance because the boy was passed out. They found out that the boy had overdosed at the hospital. So they were very let down and they felt cheated. So parents need to know that there's help available and they should not keep quiet about it. Talking to the children about these issues may help to uncover any stresses that the children are facing. Good conversations like this help to build relationship with the children, so it's also very useful for them.
So that's why it's really important for parents to speak to their children about drugs early on, building up their resilience to say no to drugs and not wait until it might be too late. Next, let's find out from a parent about her experience in speaking with her children.
I started when they were very young, so I take the opportunities during the time when I send them to school or fetch them, and around the dinner table, and we basically talk about anything under the sun. When you watch the news or like the documentary sometime on like the issue of drugs, then it's a great opportunity for me to talk to them about it, to check in like, so what if your friend asks you to do something that is not so good, like smoking or taking drugs. Usually I'll keep it really short and sweet because, teenagers, they don't really have very good attention span. Yeah, so I don't want to bore them and, be seen as a naggy mom.
Yes, yeah. Sometimes, once we get the conversation going, we might encounter with some rather tricky questions. So today, I'll do a little role play here with Benjamin. He's a senior counselor at the Singapore Anti-Narcotics Association, and he will demonstrate how parents can handle some of their children's questions. Okay, so I'll be the teenager. All the world-renowned celebrities, they do drugs if they're still so successful. Nothing bad's happened to them, so why can't I do it?
Are you sure that nothing bad happens to them? We can think of Amy Winehouse, Charlie Sheen, Whitney Houston. Bad things had happened to them because of drugs, even tragic things. So it is not true that bad things didn't happen, but rather when bad things are going to happen when people take drugs. So when you bring in real-life examples where teenagers can relate to, it is better than just say no message, which tends to sound like a lecture and that tends to turn them off.
Okay, cannabis is natural. It's a plant. It can't be that harmful, right? Better than smoking.
Cannabis has been known as a gateway drug. It may lead to other hardcore drugs. So even as it seems harmless, this is misleading. So the message is, don't do it. Similarly, to keep the conversation open, we can pose the question back to the teenager. What is happening in their lives that cannabis and cigarette is important now? That they are even thinking of it. So avoid scare tactics, shaming, and reacting with anger, because this is not helpful. Instead, focus on our own body language, our tone of voice, and avoid sounding accusatory. This will go a long way in speaking with teenagers.
After hearing from all our experts today, it is clear the importance of parents communicating with their children on the topic of drugs. Many short conversations are better than a few long lectures. and teenagers are more likely to listen and pay attention during shorter chats. Here is a quick summary again of some tips for parents to get the conversation going. Parents are the anti-drug champions at home, and these talks can really make a difference to your children's choices. For more information on drugs and inhalants, you can log on to www.cnb.gov.sg/cnbpde. Thanks for watching.